Now, what are the skills which I am mentioning you need to get? You are just got out of the newbie mode, you want to become a editor and all. I wonder if you heard about the Campus Ambassadors program and the India Education program. Many of you may not know that recently we suffered a severe setback in this program because the students in Pune, which is the pilot project, they edited and wrote a lot of articles, but they were found to be of substandard quality. And the entire Wikipedia community internationally was up in arms about it. And a lot of questions were asked, and it came to light afterwards that for various reasons, the students did not possess certain vital skills which were needed to create acceptable Wikipedia articles. And so I decided that in the skill section I must list out the 4 vital skills. I will mention them to you so that you should have knowledge of these. These are required in any academic curriculum and they are required throughout your life. If you are going to write an article, you are going to write a book, you are 60 years old and you want to write a book on some subject, or whether you are starting school now or you are starting college now and you are learning and you have to submit papers, you must know these 4 vital skills. First thing is research. Everyone forgets that Wikipedia is an encyclopedia. In encyclopedia, it is not your story or my story which comes, it has to come, facts have to come. And if facts have to be added by you, then you have to add good facts. And where do you get the good facts from, valuable facts from? By carrying out research. That is, reading about the subject on the net, reading about it in books and magazines, watching videos and various ways that you get knowledge. And there you have to find what is known as a reliable source and carry out this research and decide these are the facts, and go and look at the Wikipedia article you're interested in, is that fact there or not, and then go and add that fact. So research is an important skill. Many students have been found not to do research and use only one book, first book they found, not bothered of anything else, which is wrong. Never use only one source. You don't know that author, he may have a point of view, he may be completely in tangent, what is written may be absolutely against what the rest of the academic world is saying. So you need to read a range of books and come to know what everyone is thinking. If you find 5 books and 5 authors are saying the same thing, it is fairly established knowledge and everyone agrees with it. But if the same topic, 5 authors have got 5 different views, then that is a hotly contested subject and you should not add that information without really getting an idea of what these different points of view and schools are all about. So research is vital, people forget this skill. Mostly people are lazy also. So don't do that. You are doing this out of interest. If you are doing it out of interest, you are a hobbyist. Hobbyists are the ultimate guys in the world. No professional can ever match a hobbyist or a volunteer, a person who is an amateur. Because the amateur will focus with a fixed attention span and spend years and years and years on one thing, and whether it is useful or not or whatever, and do that. Professionals find it very difficult to give that amount of time onto that thing because they want to study something, get something productive out of it which will help them in their job or career and move on to the next item.
Explain, but why don't you also advocate that all 5 views should be presented there?
Yes, I have not said anything more about it. My point was research, and I said that you better know what you're writing before you present it. That comes into the 5 principles and other things. You're absolutely right. I left it unsaid. You need to.
Writing with a neutral.
Yeah. Okay. Here is it writing with a neutral point of view. So you have to learn firstly to write with a neutral point of view. But there are many other skills also, which are subsidiary to this, which are additional skill. Firstly, that you must be able to find out and judge which is a minority view and which is a majority view. If only one scientist is coming and piping and saying that there is Bengalia is a species of ant and nobody agrees with them, then that becomes undue importance to complete minority vote. There's one chap who wanted to put on articles in Indian Wikipedia in English, saying that Goa mein the Portuguese had given some grants and those grants should hold title as of now, and also all land is not owned by people who own grants under Indian law, but under that ancient Portuguese law of 1600 or 1630 when Vasco da Gama or whoever came here. Now that is that guy's point of view. How can that be a minority, and a very small minority at that? Nobody had even heard of that issue, and he kept on wanting to add articles and all that. Finally got banned. and neither he could give good references or something like that. So you can't have some crank coming up and he's giving equal importance to what is the mainstream view. So unless it's a genuine mainstream view, and there are a lot of people who are objecting to it and on some solid fundamental grounds, it has to be presented like that as a majority and minority. But anyone is there just off and on, 20 people will have 20 ideas about this, There are still people who believe the earth is flat. The Society of Flat Earthers in USA. No, should we, in the shape of the world, should we say that the world is flat as a view? It's ridiculous. Sorry?
I said Nandan Nilekani said it.
So does Thomas.
I was going to ask about something slightly different.
Okay.
It was just a joke.
Yeah.
But actually, see, there's a little issue here that I have a little doubt about, which is, I think the Nobel Prize this year was given to Daniel Steckman for basically his work in cosmology, but it was given as a prize in mathematics. Now, what happened was that he discovered that in fact there are patterns in the cosmos actually which do not follow your normal process of replicability. So basically crystalline motion. Now this was discounted by no less an authority than Linus Pauling. For many years, Linus Pauling used to say this man talks rubbish. Okay. Until Roger Penrose, another famous cosmologist, was able to establish mathematically that this is the truth. And so if we were in that era and we were writing a Wikipedia page on it, I'm not saying today, then how would we be able to present this theme that look, actually somebody is mathematically sound, and it doesn't matter if somebody with a more status.
I'll request Shamal to answer this.
I'll take the question. Wikipedia articles will evolve over time, just as
Knowledge evolves.
knowledge evolves. So the article is not fixed for that time period. It will change. So it will reflect current knowledge as it goes along.
Yes.
The evolution of Wikipedia articles as knowledge comes on is a fascinating study. In some cases, as soon as the article appears on a science, the people who are following, that biology or and they are fanatics, they immediately add that information there. And some cases they have forgotten information.
Even when it's not gone into the established media. So Wikipedia often tends to be on the cutting edge. And it shows the same problems that the scientific community is arguing about. You will see that reflected there. And it will advance. So what, they say there's 3 phases of everything. First you say it's impossible, then you say it's obvious. So that same thing continues. There is still
that somebody who might actually have been as good a mathematician as Daniel Steckman, who writing a page like this, would just get his point of view rejected or banned or something.
May I continue, Vikram? So that just to bring us back, like I mentioned, first vital skill was research. I'll go slightly faster because we seem to be running out of time, and there's a very good speaker after me who's been very nice. He's not even shown his face here or even raised a hand to tell that he's under pressure. Oh, are you the next speaker, sir? Achha, okay. Yeah, the children. So I'll just quickly, because I don't want to eat into their time. They've got valuable things to say also. So the second skill you need is citing. That is, you need to learn how to cite a reference, and this has to be done very carefully and academically. There are templates which help you quite a lot, so it's not a big deal, and it's a vital skill. And once you get into the habit of citing references, it will help you throughout your life, especially in our colleges, and it will help a great deal in removing some of the the ills of our society. Excuse me, please. You're disturbed. So, citing and paraphrasing, avoiding copyright violations and plagiarism are the skills which are most required in the Indian educational system. I have already mentioned writing with a neutral point of view. What is paraphrasing and what is copyright violation and plagiarism? I'll just make a brief mention. If I write anything about some subject, the information which I have provided is not copyrightable. But the exact English language which I use to write it is copyrightable. Those are my words. So if I write and tell you that there are 1,000 Wikipedians attending WikiConference 2011, then you have to find another way to say that fact. You have to say it differently. So you have to paraphrase it. And you can't closely paraphrase it. That means you take two sentences and just I put an and so that it becomes one sentence. No, you have to rewrite it in a completely different way. That's called paraphrasing. This is a really vital English skill. The problem is, in nowhere in school anyone teaches you to paraphrase well, if at all it is taught. They do teach you précis writing, which is a form of paraphrasing, but paraphrasing goes beyond précis writing. Then, copyright and plagiarism. If there is a source from a book, I have taken that material and I added it here, and I have not given the that this idea or these words are not of mine, they are actually written by that author in that book, and I have not accounted for it, I am not giving credit, then that is plagiarism, and it's an academic crime. Carry out plagiarism, you will be kicked out of the university, American university that you are studying in. Copyright violation is with regarding to the use of words. Suppose I have taken two sentences from a website and put it there, and I have given the reference. I have said I have taken from this website, but I have used the same language. That's not permitted, because copyright gives him the right for the particular language. So you have still broken the law. He says you take the information and you give my credit in my name, but why are you using my own language? You have to change the language by paraphrasing. So that is called a copyright violation. And these are major problems. Shamal has written an article on this issue, where even such famous people as scientists as Dr. Mashelkar, once one of our great doyens of the scientific establishment, that man was found guilty of plagiarism and all in a report in something which is concerned very dear to me. There is a medicine called imatinib which leukemia patients need, and that medicine cost is made by a company called Novartis, and Novartis wants to charge 1 lakh rupees for a monthly dose for a patient, and Indians make it at 11,000 rupees. Someone can earn 11,000 rupees to take 1 month's dose, but who in India can earn 1 lakh for a monthly dose? It's better to die rather than impoverish your family. It's a death sentence. So these guys went to court to challenge that act, and Mashelkar, just before that court thing, came out with that report which he has been writing for a number of years, and in which, for various reasons unknown, he had supported the stand of the company. And that report, when it was checked by people, it was found to contain plagiarism and copyright violations, and that whole report got trashed. Novartis lost the case, that committee got scrapped, Mashelkar had to resign, and all his life's work was in tatters. So this is a documented fact. So copyright and violation, plagiarism is in the Indian system, there is not enough awareness. And the sad thing is we may do it without realizing it. So at least for those of you who are sitting here, now you know about it, please don't do it. And that's one of the vital skills of Wikipedia. Yeah, you have a question, I think.
There's an issue of viralism with images and videos. So like a photograph goes viral on the net, and that also comes into WikiConference.
Sorry?
A photograph that is widely distributed has gone viral. This is coming into Wikimedia Commons.
So the only option is to delete it.
Yes, absolutely. The Commons has got its own standards, the strict standards, and if those standards are not there, just delete it. Don't keep any tainted material in Wikipedia, because you may feel, that my article will go bad or whatever it is. But you're doing a far greater harm by keeping tainted material and tainted images. In the ultimate things, it's just not worth it.
Something for the personalities, the famous personalities, the photographs are clicked anywhere in the.
There are rules, country-wide rules and all that. So there is no simple answer for this. We can speak on this more later on.
What about a quoted reference?
Sorry?
A quoted reference.
A quoted reference can be done, but in America there are rules in various countries, somewhere it says 35 words and all that. Avoid quoted references because they don't look very academic unless you want to use the exact language. So what did Abraham Lincoln say on that day? Or what did the law exactly say in that clause? Avoid quoted references and use them only to give impact. It is like salt. When you use it sparingly, it improves an article. Use it too much, the article looks very distasteful. Now developing the vital skills. Gentlemen, I'll go over it quickly. Reading the Wikipedia pages, that is always a thing, you do it lifelong, Then practice on Wiki Project India articles. Now Wiki Project India, did you attend the State of the Wikipedia lecture which was given on the afternoon of the first day in the main auditorium, where all the state of the Indic language Wikipedias and all, and I came and spoke about Wiki Project India, that is the India portion of the English Wikipedia. We got tens of thousands of articles requiring help of all kinds. And the best way to develop the skills and build up muscles is to come and just start doing some cleanups and assessments and all that. You will be helping India, our nation. You will be helping the information regarding our nation. You will be helping the small band of brothers who are editing on India article. And at the same time, you will be picking up valuable skills. Nothing gives you skills and exposures like doing cleanup of these kinds. And in Wiki Project India, there are tens of thousands of articles. If you can even do, say, if of each type of cleanup, even 2 or 3 articles, by the time you finish that list and you've done 2 cleanups of every kind, you would be a very expert Wikipedian indeed. Okay, now I'll go to quickly over some important things, skills which are a problem. Now since these are written down in there, these are available to you with a reference, it's not going anywhere. So just pay attention, I'll hurry quickly on this. When creating a stub, use the article wizard. Very important.